Hey everyone, Matthew here, MMA Uncensored. We are back. We are live. We've got a special guest for you today, Kung Lee, actor, mixed martial artist, the man himself. We also have the president and founder of this great podcast, MMA Uncensored. He'll be hopping on as well. So bear with me. Let me just see. They are in the building. Let's pop them on. All right. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
All right. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Bear with me 1 second. Let's go ahead and pop the founder of this page here. 1 second. Let's get everybody rocking at the same time. There we go.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good morning in California.
Early in morning.
Is that coffee?
Actually, it's just kombucha that I just had.
Oh, okay. Good. You need to plug it?
Nice.
No, just
It's too early for that, right?
yeah.
Good morning, Master Kung Lee, one of my heroes and legends. I grew up watching him, martial arts, MMA, you name it. When I look back on my early days of watching the sport, him.
Thank you very
One of
much.
the guys. Sorry, I've got my little baby's doll there. Put that away.
So how are you doing today, sir? How's life out there in California?
Actually, I'm doing very well. I mean, besides staying home and just training in the garage instead of the gyms. It's crazy. I call it the pandemic.
Yeah. It's a little different in California than it is here. In Florida, it's a little more laid back. Just by reading and understanding is a little more strict there.
Yeah, actually, I love your governor. He definitely he's like, oh, we're not going to have any COVID passports, and I just he knows the right way to lead. So.
Right. So we're here today to talk about a major important subject, especially for you and 1,200 plus fighters. The lawsuit against the UFC. You had the stage, Master Lee.
Oh, thank you. So, my team's been with this on this case for like almost 10 years now, and now that we come down to, we're waiting for Judge Bullworth to just announce that what's in the class cert. We finally got class cert. I believe, I can't remember, it was November or December. But class certs mean it's no longer it's Kung Lee and John Fitch and Nate Corey and Javier Vasquez, Brandon Vera. It's no longer us versus the UFC. It's us representing 1,215 fighters for this class action. And basically, there's this law firm. I guess I can't really pronounce their law firm, but Sparacino. I actually call them Cappuccino because they're a law firm that have done nothing, and they probably don't even know anything about the case. But I think what they do is they search like other law cases to in its similarity, and what they'll do is they'll go and they actually spent their own money not helping fighters, but this is to help themselves. So they sent out by FedEx. I don't know the amount of FedEx that they sent out, hundreds of FedExes to different fighters. Now, remember, these fighters, they don't need to be part of like a law firm. We represent them, and we've been fighting for them for as long as this case been going, and it's so disturbing to me that we did all the work and we are how can I explain it? It's like if I was in a title fight and I decided to change my whole corner, and my corner is the one who got me all the way here to the title fight. And these guys just come in, they don't even know your name, and they're gonna corner you for your title fight. That's how I can explain it. So as this company, I call them the Cappuccinos, they sent out a bunch of information acting like they were the lead counsel and have done all this work. And they actually just, what they did was they took a bunch of our and screen captured a bunch of our stuff, put it together in a package, and sent it to a bunch of fighters, telling the fighters if they don't sign up with them, they won't get paid out. Here's the crazy thing: the lawyers that have been working on this case, they know everything about this case. These guys don't know anything about the case. They know what we put out, and they don't even know what the internal is. They don't even know the number. They know it's a big number, and after, like, after so many years, how come they didn't step up in the beginning? And the team that we've been like working all together on this, me and the John Fitch and Brandon Veer and Nate. It's like we've gone to all these legal proceedings and getting deposition, and now it's like your title fight, and these guys should come in and basically they are they're a bunch of leeches. They want to take a percentage of these hard-earned fighters' money that is like gonna come back to them as a back pay, and they want to take that and maybe even negotiate, and they'll probably negotiate a lower rate just to get it done quicker.
Master Lee,
Yes.
please explain to the audience what the lawsuit is about, how it originated, what are you going after, why are you going after it? Educate us, please.
So the lawsuit is basically a class action against the UFC for basically, as the UFC doesn't pay their fighters, and they keep, well, they do pay their fighters, but they pay the fighters like chump change. So the UFC basically will keep about 80 to 85% of the profit, and 15% is distributed amongst all the fighters on the card. While boxing, on the other hand, it's like the opposite. It's where the fighters are making the majority of the money because they are the product. It's like no one's showing up to watch the UFC, to watch see the banners and all the the sponsors. They're showing up for the fighters, but the fighters here, they're not making much, and some of them still have a second job. And so this lawsuit, it's just when the fighters, they don't have any negotiation power because UFC have basically they've cornered the market. They bought out Pride, they bought out WEC, they bought out Strikeforce, and that leaves no room to for any of the fighters to negotiate their fair market. So this lawsuit is about the fighters getting their fair market value.
Is this are you going after monies from a certain time period, Master Lee?
Yes. I believe it's a 10-year time period. I didn't go over the time. It's been so long. It's I think I've been on this for like 6 years now. Just legally, and it's we represent 1,215 fighters. Through the time period that when we started till the cutoff date, which I sent all you guys the information, so I don't have it on me, because it's on this phone right here. So basically we're just fighting for our fair market.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the information on my end. This monies will go to the fighters so they could put it in their bank accounts, pay past bills, and recoup some of the monies that they should have got paid.
Yes, what they should have got paid for that fight. So there's also going to be someone who's going to come in and go over each like bout and where they're at in the bout, and then estimate on like what each fighter should get. Now this is like for all the events that like the fighters took part in.
Right. Got you. All right. I don't have the specific dates or years, but I kind of understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
So what's the progress now? What's the update? Why are we here today? What broke?
So basically in November, it could be December, Judge Bulworth basically said that, we got our class certification, and then so we're moving to the next stage. So the next stage is UFC will make a appeal and then try to fight it, but with all the evidence that we got, and we've definitely we are at that final stage. It's like then the judge will set a trial date, and if they want to go to trial, then UFC, when they lose, they're going to lose. It could be like 3 times the amount, or they'll probably settle out. Yeah. So I don't know what will happen, but all I know is we've gotten this far, and then this law firm, Sparacino, I call him again Cappuccino, they're coming in and they're lying to all the fighters. They're being leeches and they're being like scumbags. Why would they come in and try to take the money of these fighters and lie to them? And they don't even know the sacrifices that these fighters that go through. But they just see an opportunity and they do this. It's kind of crazy. It
is crazy. I just did some simple math. If it's $100 million and there's 1,200 fighters, each fighter would get $83,333.
Well, it also works like, here's the main event. This is what the main event gets, and
Absolutely. I was just giving the people that are listening an idea. Say you guys get $100 million in your settlement. 1,200 divided by 100 million is almost 100,000 per fighter on average, but still that'll help everybody out.
Oh yeah. I think, and it'll also change the dynamic of the game, and from this point on, each fighter will be able to negotiate their fair market value. So now they're not fighting for, I think, is there a new pay scale now? I'm not sure what the pay scale is, but it's really low. I mean,
well, it's different. UFC fighters get paid different. One championship different. Bellator different. And like you say, boxing, they give more revenues to the athletes.
Yeah. But here, I mean, with boxing, of course, when the pay-per-view comes in, the gate, and I know during this COVID time, everyone's affected by the gate, but still, UFC, they have a pay-per-view, and whenever they do bad or good on the pay-per-view, it doesn't change the outcome of what the fighters get paid. It's just they collect their fees and they keep it like a basic, like the fighters, they're just stuck with their pay. And really, there's really not much room to negotiate unless like you're in a title fight and you're fighting a big name. But still, even Conor is not making what he should be making if he was in boxing. So it's
you probably seen the news on Jon Jones. He wants to get $10+ million to fight Francis Ngannou for the UFC heavyweight title. You think that's a fair payday?
I believe it's a fair. I think he's actually a little underpaid. If you look at it, like Jon Jones is pound for pound, and now
pound for pound goat.
Yeah, and Francis, he's a knockout artist. I mean, he knocks out everyone, and that kind of fight with that kind of buildup, and I mean, how come, Joshua or Tyson Fury, look at the amount of money that they make more than a Jon Jones. I mean, that's just crazy. And UFC is pulling in probably the same numbers as, or even better than boxing. And they're keeping all the money. So they're lining their pockets up with all the money, while fighters like Jon Jones and yeah, a lot of people would say, well, he's you know, look how much they're making, but look how much the boxers are making, and look how come the fighters who are bleeding, who are making that risk. Yeah, sure, we signed the contract, but we at the time we don't have anyone to negotiate against. There is no one to give us a better deal. So there's nowhere to go. But in boxing, you got tons of promoters, and whenever they want a fighter or they want to put together a fight, they have to negotiate for that fighter. So now they're negotiating against all the other promoters.
That's right.
Of course, the price is going to go up. But on this end, UFC says this is what you're going to make, and that's it. Take it or leave it. And if you don't take it, you've seen Dana White, because there's so many footage of Dana White talking. And there's even that picture of Dana. He has a tombstone that says "RIP" to all the other competing companies. It's all the evidence is there. We really don't have to do anything.
We've been talking for a few years. I know from past, you're not the biggest fan of Dana White. You are close friends with Bellator's president, Mr. Scott Coker, though.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
What's the difference between them two?
Well, I think the biggest difference is, for me, what I've experienced is, if you don't do what Dana White wants, then, know that, things are going to be really rough, and, I've had my experiences like going to China and being not just a coach, being the Dana White out in China. And there's somewhere on there Dana White says I saved their show, because literally when I went out there, like the Chinese company that they teamed up with never filmed a reality show, and then I literally, since I do have a background in film and TV, I was like getting these camera guys, hey, you got to film everything. You just missed a fight. These guys fought. You guys just got down, put your cameras down and smoking cigarettes, and they're watching the fight, watching these guys, argue with each other. Like, it's crazy. And then while Scott Coker, I think because Scott Coker is a traditional martial arts, he was raised by honor, integrity, and stuff like that. So, it's just two different, it's like an apple and an orange, and on one end, if you are a company man, you're doing everything that they want, they're happy, they'll pat you in the shoulder, they'll kick you a little bonus here and there, and then send you off to the next on the next mission they give you, or the next thing that you don't want to do, and you have to do it. There's like, if you say no, it's not good for you. While Scott, I after I won the title, I had many opportunities to do film, and then Scott's all, have fun, be safe, don't get injured, because that's the difference. Scott's more, lives with a little bit more integrity, and he cares about his fighters.
Right. You watch the fights, the UFC pay-per-views. Did you see the Stipe versus Ngannou fight by chance?
I actually only just saw highlights of it. Yeah, it's he's a scary dude, and I mean, I don't blame Jon Jones at all. I think 10 million is like a little bit low. I mean, maybe if they give him a bigger back end, then
pay-per-view points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he should get pay-per-view too, but to ask for something up front like that while UFC is making 85%, I don't see, what's wrong with what Jon Jones is asking for. I think he's kind of asking for. This is a heavyweight super fight here.
Absolutely.
This is like, just imagine putting, Fury versus Joshua. How much are these guys going to get paid? Like, it's between
30,
those
40 million or more.
Yeah. So Jon Jones is barely asking for what, 15, 20% of what they're making. And, take nothing away from, boxing, but like, I think if it's MMA, I mean, of course it's completely two different, arts, but I mean, come on. I mean, all Jon Jones has to do is literally shoot in and take, Joshua down, and it'll be over.
Right.
And Francis, I'm sure he'll take him down before he knocks him out. So
That's what I see too.
It's
I see a takedown, wrestling, couple elbows, some ground and pound, and Jones and New.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, these are the elite gladiators, the modern day gladiators, and they're getting paid like minimum wage compared to boxing
Right.
heavyweights. Like just take away like that main event. Just put a main event boxing card on, and someone with a mid-level recognizable name still making tons of money.
Right.
So
What did you think about What did you think about the Dustin Poirier Connor, the second one? What did you think about that fight?
well,
That surprised you, or were you?
you know, I actually felt like if Dustin can get out of the first round, not getting caught, he had a better chance to win. But obviously, when you take a lot of time off and you're not as active and you're busy like a Connor, because he's got multiple businesses now. So of course you're not going to be uh, you know your timing, everything could be off. It's just some fighters, they can jump back in. Very rare. I think the only guy I know who taken all that time off and then jumped back in and is successful and won was Dominic Cruz.
Right. Yeah.
But here it's like the crazy thing is the fighters in the UFC already don't make that much money. Okay, and the fact that this company, Cappuccino, they're a bunch of sleazeballs, leeches that's looking for an opportunity to cash in on these fighters, to cash in on what they worked so hard for, and for like just say a 10-year of all their fights. Now they're going to get like a recover money from that, and these guys are trying to jump in and take their like a percentage of their money. Now these 1,200 fighters, they don't have to do anything.
Right.
They have to do is wait for us to wait for us to finish the fight, and then wait for a check. Then after that, you know what?
So your message to all the fighters and the people that don't know what's going on is, if you have any questions, contact yourself, John Fitch, Brandon Vera. I may have missed one or two, and do not go with this law firm because they're just going to take some of your money. Go directly to Kung Lee and his team, and he'll set you straight, and you'll get everything that's coming to you.
Yes, just if you guys, I'm talking to all the fighters here. Hey, if you guys have any questions, call me, John Fitch, Nate Corey, Brandon Vera, and we can put you in touch with the lawyers who's been fighting and who's been on this case for 10 years now, literally, and they know every in and out, and every little information about this whole lawsuit than anyone out there.
Perfect.
So yeah,
good deal. We'll add the website, and we'll add a few things and help the people get the information. Is there anything else you have before we go?
No, I just want to thank you for putting me on and let me share this information, because it's very important to all the fighters, not just the 1,200 fighters, but this here is going to help all the fighters that is fighting, and hopefully the young ones that are coming to become the next MMA fighters and champion. This is all for you guys. So I've definitely I felt like I had a couple more fights, but I stepped out and I said, you know what, I'm going to fight for the fighters, because my son Anthony, he really wants to fight, and
very talented.
I want him to have a chance to have a fair market value when he gets to that level.
Absolutely. Well, we respect you. You're a good friend. anytime you ever need anything, you know, we're always there for you. And in the beginning, when I first started off, you used to answer my phone calls, and I appreciate that. You
Yeah,
helped me
and
out a lot.
thank you, thank you, thank you, and
Thank you, Master Lee. And
yeah,
we'll get this up, and we'll get this message out today.
thank you, and plug that website for me because
Okay, the
that's gonna
website.
go up, and that has all the information. So
Okay, let me just read that real quick. Let me get to my phone. I try not to use my phone. Okay, so it's going to be ufcclassaction.com. The
yes,
website will be up soon. It's ufcclassaction.com.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll
One
talk soon. Oh, go ahead.
one question before you go. You know, first I admire your, you being brave and doing this, but what made you, what said, what thought process came to your head and you said, you know what, this is something I have to do. I have to pave the way for the fighters. When did
Well,
that happen?
First of all, the first time I experienced some craziness is I came into AKA for sparring, and I came in. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And everyone sit down. And this was like years and years ago, and they're all like stressed out. I'm like, "What's going on?" And so Javier pulled me aside, said, "Hey, so probably no sparring today. We got to figure this out because John Fitch basically didn't want to give away his likeness for the rest of his life." For their game, so they're gonna punish the whole team. I'm like,
Oh wow.
holy shit! Excuse my Vietnamese, but I was like, I'm so glad I'm not part of this, but that's terrible. What can we do? And then Javier says, absolutely nothing. This is how they work, and now John doesn't want to do this. They're gonna take it on all of my fighters, and of course Javier was upset about it. Upset about that. But then I came over and I talked to John, and then John was just pissed. So, you know, I looked over at Koscheck and all the Mike Swick, and everyone was just like kind of in shock, like, wow, it's that was my first experience. And then then when it came to me, I was like, when I came over to UFC, I was like, hopefully none of this would happen. And I was cruising all the way through, and all of a sudden, the first time I was like, you have to go to China or you have to fight. I'm like, I think my leg's broken, and they're like, well, figure it out. I'm like, shit, I'm in a walking boot, And they announced my fight against Rich Franklin. I'm sure if you go back and see the post conference, I came in on crutches, and then Dana basically, like when someone asked me a question, so what am I going to do? I said, I'm going to take a break, and hopefully my foot's not broken, and I'm going to take some time off. And Dana says, let me take this for you, Kung. Kung's going to take a week off, and he's going to get back in the gym, and he's going to fight Rich Franklin. It's out there in the media, and I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm going to do. And I mean, look, I'm honored to be able to share the octagon with Rich Franklin, but man, my foot was really bad, and there's video of me doing bloodletting. It's like an Eastern medicine just to heal my foot. Like I was doing everything, like something every single day to be ready for that fight for my foot.
Man.
So it was crazy. It was crazy, but I just told myself, especially when my son started doing really well, and like he just wanted to be a fighter, and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna suck this up. Not only am I gonna do this for my son, but I'm gonna represent all the fighters because someone's got to. And already at the point, I think Rampage is the one who brought me in and introduced me to everyone, and when I signed on, the case moved forward. So yeah.
Awesome. Very admirable, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Thank you.
appreciate your time today, brother.
All right, you
We'll
guys
talk
have a
soon.
great day, and thank you for bringing me on. And I'm sure this will help. Hopefully all the fighters. Again, everyone, for the fighters out there, if you guys have questions, just reach out to us. Me, John Fitch, Nate Corey, Brandon Vera, or well, Brandon's getting ready for a fight, so maybe not him, but Javier Vasquez, and we'll put you in contact with our team.
Coach Javier, AKA.
No, he's I think he's in Dubai, but it's our group, like
Oh, okay.
me, John Fitch. Yeah, we are very educated about everything on this case, and then we can give the fighters a breakdown and whatever they need to know, and then something that we can't answer for them, we can turn them over to our lawyers.
Yeah.
And it's actually not our lawyers, it's your lawyers. It's our team is your team now. So with this class certification, it's not me and John Fitchin anymore. It's me and 1,215 fighters, and all the batch to come. Where this will help change and pave the way.
Good deal. It's going to be, the website will be up soon. It's ufcclassaction.com.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
You guys, I'll talk
Thank
to
you.
you all later. Hey,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Master Lee.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
You too.
Thank you for being on.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. That was a good one, bud.
That was. Man, so many things going on in these in the fight world nowadays.
There was a lot to learn there. There's a lot of money to be made. So I guess we're going to go, get this news out here and get it out to the world. So that was a good episode, man. Let's go on to the next one. Henry Cajeto's next.
You guys heard it.
All right.
We got the superstar coming up next. He'll be here shortly, so stay tuned, and
Right.
we will get you guys some good stuff.
We'll see you soon. Great episode. Bye.
All right. Alrighty, Matthew here, MMA Uncensored. This was a great episode. Kung Lee, very admirable. Had to just let everyone know what's really going on. He wanted to state the facts. So we will have this episode up. We will have the link so you guys can go check it out. For now, have a great day. MMA Uncensored.